Did you know there's something many Christians don't dare to talk about? That they are still fighting lust in their minds every single day? You love God, you want to live right, but then suddenly thoughts of lust appear, and you start asking yourself, why am I like this? Is God disappointed in me? If you've ever felt that way, listen carefully to this. You are not alone. This is a very real and very common battle, but it is often hidden because of shame. And that silence makes you think you are the only one who is struggling, the only one who is weak. But you need to understand one important truth. Temptation, including lust, is not sin. The thoughts that appear in your mind do not automatically make you guilty. What truly matters is what you do with them. Do you hold on to them, entertain them, and let them grow? Or do you recognize them and choose to let them go? The Bible makes it clear in Romans 8:1, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. God does not look at you with accusation just because you are struggling with lust. He looks at your heart, at the fact that you still want to return, that you are still fighting and not giving up. You are not a fake Christian. You are not a failure. You are simply in a battle that anyone who is serious about their faith will face. And most importantly, you are not fighting alone. If you think that struggling with lust is a sign of weakness, then you may need to take a closer look at a very familiar figure in the Bible, David. This was not an ordinary man. He was a king, a warrior, and someone personally chosen by God. But that did not make him immune to very human temptations. One evening, from his rooftop, David saw Bathsheba. That moment seemed very small, just a glance. But the issue was not that he saw her, it was that he did not turn away. He lingered, he let his eyes stay, and from there, everything began to slide. From a passing thought, it became imagination, then led to action, and eventually dragged him into a chain of serious consequences. What is important to understand is that David was not lacking in faith. He was not distant from God, but he failed to guard his eyes and his mind in a critical moment. And that is exactly where many of us stumble today. Not because you don't love God, but because you allowed that thought to stay longer than it should have. Sin rarely begins with action. It usually starts quietly, a glance, a thought, a small moment of imagination. And if it is not stopped early, it grows without you even realizing it. This is not meant to scare you, but to help you understand how it works. And the most important thing you need to remember is this. David fell, but he was not abandoned. God still restored him. That means failure does not define who you are. It simply shows that you are human and that you need to learn how to guard your mind better, starting from the smallest moments. You may be asking yourself, why do I keep thinking about these things even when I don't want to? And the answer is not that you are spiritually weak, but rather in how your mind and your environment are working every single day. You are not just dealing with lust, you are dealing with a very real system of influence. First, look at the environment you are living in. What you watch, what you scroll through, what you listen to every day is quietly entering your mind. An image, a short video, something that seems harmless, but your brain records it all. And when you are alone, or when your mind is idle, those things come back. Not because you want them to, but because you have already fed them into your mind before. Second is how your brain works. Your brain is designed to seek pleasure, and lust is directly connected to that. Every time you think in that direction, your brain takes note and begins to form a pathway. Repeat it enough times, and it no longer feels like a choice. It becomes a reflex. That is why sometimes it feels like it appears automatically. Finally, there is the emotional factor. When you are stressed, lonely, or tired, your mind looks for a way to escape, and lust becomes a quick way to fill that gap. Not because it is good, but because it is easy to access. Understanding these things is not to justify yourself, but to help you realize this. You are not just fighting a thought, you are fighting habits, your environment, and even the way your brain has been programmed. And when you understand the problem correctly, you can begin to change it in a real and effective way. What you need to understand most at this point is this. God does not turn his back on you just because you are struggling with lust. He is not waiting for you to become perfect before he loves you. On the contrary, in your weakest moments, he is still there, patiently guiding you step by step. Grace is not a reason for you to remain stuck in the same cycle, but the strength for you to stand up and change. But real change requires concrete action, not just emotion. And here are the things you can start doing today. First, learn to leave temptation as early as possible. Do not try to endure it or test how strong you are. You are not called to fight lust head-on in a dangerous environment. You are called to avoid it. If a certain type of content makes you fall, remove it decisively. If a habit leads you back into the same cycle, change it. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. Second, you need to replace, not just remove. If you only try to not think about it, you will fail. Your mind always needs something to fill it, so intentionally feed it with healthier inputs every day. You do not need to do anything extreme, just be consistent. When you change what you consume, you begin to change how you think. Third, do not fight this battle alone. This is the part many people avoid, but it is the one that makes the biggest difference. Find someone you trust, someone who can listen, pray with you, and remind you to get back up when you feel weak. When you bring the struggle into the light, it begins to lose its power. And finally, be patient with yourself. You will not change in one day. You may still fall, but that does not mean you are going in the wrong direction. What matters is that you keep getting back up. God does not love you any less because you are struggling. He is walking with you in the middle of that struggle. And if you are still trying, it means you are still moving forward. Thank you for listening until the end. If this helps you see things more clearly, start with one small step today. See you in the next content.